Okay, hi Go Run Girls, Coach Maree here. I'm joined today with the lovely Ellen Cole. Hi Ellen and welcome.
Hi, Marie. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Ellen is an amazing girl who just conquered the Auckland Marathon last weekend. And it kind of feels like a lifetime ago, but it was only last weekend. And I trained Ellen for this event, and mostly it was online with Ellen. So we did a lot of phone calls and a lot of emailing, and I made up her plan online and just kept in touch. So it was a different way of training someone online. But then we had, I ran with Ellen for her peak run. I did a little bit of the end with her, so I actually got to spend some time with her. And also we had a meeting before that as well at one of the events, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I did. So it was nice to get that interaction, but mostly online. But anyway, I wanted to bring Ellen on to talk about her experience training for the big kahuna, which is the marathon, and get a bit of her story about it. So Ellen, please tell my girls a little bit about yourself.
Um, well, I'm 22 years old. Before this, before I got into running, I wasn't really doing much exercise. I was sort of going to the gym and didn't know where I was going. I'm at uni studying full time to be a nurse. I'm in the end of my second year, so I have one more year left. Um, yeah, and I also work a job as a community support worker, so I'm through doing that as well. So yeah.
So it's pretty full on for Ellen, but she's a really nice person as well, which just tops it all off. So Ellen, why a marathon? I mean, you're 22 years old, so you're still, really young in the scheme of things, and that's when, it does you get into your parting years, you get into your uni, and then all of a sudden I had this email saying, "Hi, Coach Maree, I want to train for a marathon." Why?
Well, at the beginning, I'll be honest, I was having some issues with mental health,
Yes.
and I wanted to get into something that I could focus on and made myself like a goal throughout the year. I had signed up for one half when I did that, and then I did the half, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I thought, I could make it my goal this year to run a marathon because my stepmom did it last year, and I was quite inspired by her. That's why I sort of got into running. So I decided to sign up for a marathon as my big goal, sort of to help my mental health and like something to look to towards the end of the year. So yeah.
That's a big goal.
Yeah.
A very big goal, but amazing one at that. By the way, I love how you've got your little bib at the back and the oh, it's very cool. Love it. Okay, so how did the training go with uni? Because I know that we talked about that at the start, how it was all going to mash in, and so that you got to that start line ready to go. How was it actually? Like, how did it pan out?
When I first started my training program, I was quite lucky because throughout the first half of my first semester, I was only having half days at uni. So I was quite lucky as to I would go to uni, come home, go for a run, and then go to work because I work in the evenings. But this second semester that I've had, I've been at uni full, like pretty much full days till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, from 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'd come home, and if I could squeeze in a run, then I would. If there was enough daylight before I had to go to work, then I would. And if I couldn't, then I'd go on a treadmill in the evenings because my friend had a treadmill, so I'd do that, or like swap days around. So if I was really full, say on a Wednesday, because Wednesday was usually my real busy day, I'd swap, maybe do do like a short run on the Wednesday and the longer run on the Thursday or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was always going to be the challenge for you.
Yeah.
Just when to fit it in, but I think it was like we would correspond quite a bit about that, and if you couldn't fit something in, then it didn't happen, and that was okay. I mean, that's the thing when you're training for a marathon, is that you're out there most days of the week anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt to have those days, and for you to mentally be okay with it, the fact that you missed a run was really important too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it did happen, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, anything out of the ordinary that happened that you thought wouldn't?
Well, at the beginning of my training, I injured my calf muscle. So I rested that, and sort of that healed by itself. And then towards the end of my training, which was the most frustrating part, I injured my knee. So I pulled my IT band. And that was something that, like, it made me so annoyed because I couldn't, when I ran, it hurt and I couldn't keep going. And I had this annoying mental determination that I wanted to keep going, and I had to stop myself from like overdoing it so that I would still be able to run the marathon. So that was probably the biggest hurdle that I had, was the knee injury.
Yes, yeah. At the end, I was doing, like I said before, Ellen's peak run with her, and I could see how frustrating it was for you. I could feel it, running, and just your head was down. I could tell that it was getting really hard, but I was just telling Ellen that these were the important times, these important moments that make you stronger as a competitor, is all those little niggles that happen. And I did say to Ellen that, that the niggles are going to come, it's just when, how bad. So yeah, it was definitely tough for her to learn too, and especially being her first one. Now I know that more than likely I'm going to get injured in some way training for something, because I've done so many, but this was Ellen's first, and she definitely had her fair share of niggles. So yeah, well done for getting through that. Okay, next question is your race prep. Tell me a bit about the days leading up to your event. What was exciting and nerve-wracking? Yeah.
Leading up to the race, like that whole week, I had all the emotions. I was nervous, I was excited, I was sad, I was happy, I was like, yeah, it was a cool week. So I for race prep mainly, I was just eating relatively healthy meals, like just normal sort of meals that I would usually eat, but like less junk food, obviously. Drinking heaps of water. That was one thing that I did, was I probably drank almost 3 liters a day.
Wow.
Because I really wanted to keep hydrated and make sure that I wasn't gonna have any bad experiences on the day. So yeah, and for me, there was a lot of rest that week because I was trying to keep off my knee and make it like sort of last as good as possible. So yeah, that was about my race prep.
Yeah, and she was very nervous about the knee, which is all, it's all part of it. So the event itself, talk us through a little bit about, the times that felt good and maybe the ones that weren't so good, because I know you had a full-on journey through the whole
The actual event itself was such a cool event. Like, they've got entertainment along the way, so when you're really not feeling it and you pass some entertainment, it sort of gives you a bit of a boost to keep going. But for me, the first about, I think, 13 k's until I hit the bridge, that was perfectly fine, and I got about 3/4 of the way up the bridge and noticed that my legs sort of got a little bit tired from climbing the bridge. So I stopped and walked there a little bit, and then over the bridge, and down and around the corner. And then I kept going till about 24 Ks. And then I sort of was like, like getting a little bit tired. So I sort of kept going a little bit, but it was like from between 24 and 29 Ks was like this massive mental block that I had to get over. And I was just trying to like push myself through it, put some good music on. And then I got to 29 Ks. And because I'm not a fast runner when I'm running, I'm just sort of average pace. When you're going out sort of Tamaki driveway, there's all these people coming back the other way because it's a loop. So that was the biggest mental challenge, was knowing that I still had to go all the way out and come back, and all these people were passing me. And then 29 Ks I got passed by a power walker in his YMCA singlet, and by this time Mum was running with me, so I started crying because I was in this massive mental block. And Mum said to me, he's done lots of marathons and this is your first one. You just need to focus on yourself. And I sort of was like, oh yeah, like I should just snap out of it. And then that really helped me. So I sort of put a good song on again and kept going. And then I hit the turnaround and I was like, yes, I'm on the home straight. And then about 7 Ks back of the turnaround was really good. Like I was really good. Just kept going, was really happy. And then I think it was about the last 5 Ks that I struggled so much. It was a mental challenge. It was a physical challenge. I was sore everywhere. Everywhere you could think of, I was hurting. I felt really sick. Like I thought I was going to be sick at one point. And I was just like, I just talked to myself and I just said, I know that the finish line is coming up. It's so close, that I just kept sort of pushing myself. And then the finish line, I could see the finish line and it was like the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wow, such a massive achievement.
Yeah.
Through every emotion out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a little bit about the event, but yeah, just a massive achievement for Ellen. So I wanted Ellen to share some of her tips. So I said to Ellen, top 3 tips for anyone out there that, might be thinking about doing a marathon, or maybe has done marathons before, but might learn something different off Ellen. So take it away, Ellen.
My top 3 tips is probably leading up to the marathon, making sure you're eating and drinking well, so eating healthy meals, drinking lots of water. The next one would be, if you're going through a mental block, whether it be during a training run or an event, put on a good song, tell yourself you can do it, because you can. That's what you're out there for. And you can finish it. Just tell yourself you can, and sort of try and push through that mental block and tell it to go away. And then the third one is definitely listen to your body. If you're injured, if you're sick, anything, take a break. If you're exhausted, if you're out there doing training runs or events and you get injured, go into your walk run intervals and just make sure you listen to your body.
Excellent. They're great tips, and definitely ones that I would want to promote to everyone, especially that last one, Ellen, because there are times with you where you had to listen to your body, and it didn't have to be, I remember through your training, it didn't have to be that you've got a niggle, an injury or something massive. It can be something like time of the month. It could be something like, you're stressed, you've got exams, or you're just feeling like crap and things aren't going right. There would be times where you would take, a good week off, focus on getting yourself better before you then went on to attack training. But then you would always come back, and you would come back, focused and strong and ready to go. And sometimes you just need that break. Don't be stubborn.
Definitely.
Awesome. Okay, so would you do it again? What's your next goal?
for the day of the marathon and 3 days afterwards, I definitely would not have done another one again. But now, definitely, I would totally go and do another one. My next one will be the goal of hopefully smashing 5 hours, because the one that I did last time was 5 hours 20 minutes. So I'd love to cut 20 minutes off that time and do it in 5 hours or less. My next event is the Omaha Half, but because I'm not really going into that competitive, I'm just doing it with Mum as like a fun sort of event. And then next year I'm going to get back into doing events and do probably the Sketches Women's Half and the Albany Lakes will be my 2 next events. So yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's why, it's funny because some people finish an event and go, I want that again, like right now.
Yeah.
They're booking it, but some people need some time.
Yeah, and that was me.
People, when I spoke to you at the finish line, I thought, yeah, we'll just give her some time and then she'll, want to jump into something. I don't know what that is, but no, I mean, yeah, you train so hard for something. Can you spend we had a long time to train you for this because it was start of the year that I started training Ellen for it. So she had the perfect amount of time to train. She was already 21K ready, so perfect plan. And so she spent most of this year training. So it's such an emotional thing as well as physical. So I knew that somewhere along the line you'd want to, keep that going in some capacity. But hey, awesome, you did it. Congratulations, Ellen. I know that there were a few girls and family members rooting for you, and yes, such a massive achievement for anyone, let alone a 22-year-old girl who's got to study and, very, very ambitious. You're very driven and proves that, you put your mind to something, Ellen, you can do it.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's been such a inspiration to me to be able to coach you as soon as you said your age, because I thought, wow, this is such a cool opportunity. And it's a little study for me to see the difference between your training and say someone who's more my age, sitting in the 40s, and the difference in how you cope with the training and the niggles and lifestyle. But in reality, they're very similar. You've gone through what I would have gone through. So it was, thank you for letting me use you as a little bit of a study case for training people. So,
that's all right.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, that's it from us. But take care, Ellen. Thank you so much for inspiring the girls. And, yeah, congratulations again.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
See you, girls. Bye, Ellen. Thank you.
See ya.